are you doing?
Doing a Deirdre Barlow.
A Gwen face.
Yeah. John's trying to get rid of all the chins I've got. I'm gonna sort your hair out, just so you know.
Thanks for that.
And get that thing.
Yeah. Well, speak up then, because
okay.
We're on.
So, Steve, who knows whether we'll and when we'll get away in the caravan? I mean, we've got it. We can be in it. It's on our drive, but that's as far as we've got so far.
Yeah, but it's just nice to be in here. No kids. No, in your ear all the time. Drives you nuts. I'm telling you it does.
Yeah, it is nice. It's a place of peace and hiding away from being hassled all the time.
Yeah. We are lucky in one sense that during this entire period of lockdown and Christmas and all that lot, we've actually had the caravan on the drive, and we've actually had the heating on quite low as well, so we haven't had any issues with frozen pipes and things of that nature. So, and all the furniture we brought all back in only today actually, to begin to start getting ready, isn't it? Because if we do one job a week, that's all we need to do.
In normal times, if we ever get back to them in the December, after our last, actually probably late October, after our last hurrah, which last year was Bognor, we would take all the soft furnishings out of the caravan, take it into the house, because I don't like things that smell musty and damp, and then Steve would drain down the water system. It would go to the farm.
Yeah, stay in storage over winter.
Yeah, and Steve would go up every few weeks just to make sure it was all right.
Just to check it was
okay.
Even though it's got a tracker on it and I can see it on a map and stuff.
You still want to go up and pat it, wouldn't you? But obviously this year, with us not knowing what was happening, how strong the lockdown was going to be, whether I could use my office or not, we just kept it here. We didn't know if people would be able to come and stay, if if one of us got really poorly and had to self-isolate, you could actually do it in here.
Touch wood.
Yeah, we've been okay.
Is there actually any wood in the caravan?
Well, it's pretend wood.
Pretend wood, okay. Yeah.
So anyway, we did plan, normally, first half term of the year, which is February, we'd be going away. And we had booked, hadn't we, Steve? We'd booked a week away in February. Where was it again?
Devizes. Yeah. No, it wasn't Devizes. No, it was...
Somerset, was it?
Can't remember where it was. Doesn't matter where. But yeah, we had booked to go away in the February half term, but that's been cancelled. Well, in actual fact, I got an email saying thank you for your cancellation, even though I hadn't actually cancelled. But the Caravan Club had sent me an email.
I think in reality the government's been telling us that it's till half term that this lockdown will last and be, but we all know it's going to be. We all know it's going to be end of March. So our weekend away we normally have in February, when it's normally quite cold, quite icy, but quiet. That's gone. So we'll still have the caravan here, and I can hide in here because Steve's got a plan for decorating a couple of rooms in February. So when he really annoys me, I can come and hide in here, and it will take him half an hour to work out where I am.
No, don't think you won't be doing anything. You will be. You'll be coming to join me. Painting and dusting and God knows what. Yeah, it has to be done. Has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's face it, Steve. If we could have gone away in the caravan, we would have, wouldn't we? There's no way.
And that we wouldn't have been doing any decorating.
Yes, there's no way you choose decorating over going away in the caravan.
No, I use that kind of as an excuse not to do any...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Whenever Steve comes up with a DIY project for the house, because we don't like them, I'll always say, okay, we'll do that during the holiday, or we can go in the caravan. Which do you want to do? And guess which always wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, also... another thing that we normally get done over the Christmas / New Year bit is to take the caravan up to my local caravan shop and get it serviced, because it needs it. That's its once a year thing. But they're on furlough and the place is closed.
Yep.
So I'm not quite sure. I did send a request into Swift Talk. When you buy a Swift caravan, you can move into the Swift Talk bit for free. I've since been on their website and actually the website has been closed. Even though I did ask the question, what are you doing about servicing, and they shut it without actually responding to that.
It says it's down for maintenance.
Yeah, I know, but if you read below that, it says something different.
Following recent occurrences of inappropriate usage of Swift Talk. How can you inappropriate
So it says it's been closed for maintenance, but actually it hasn't.
Some kind of hidden agenda there then.
So in terms of the service that it needs, which I'm quite happy to pay for, we need to book that in. Ideally before we go away Easter.
Well, you have booked it in, Steve. It's always at the beginning of January. That's when we always have it done.
No, I haven't booked anything in because you can't.
Yeah, exactly. They're closed. They're furloughed for the whole of January, isn't it?
Or until the end of furlough.
Yeah.
Whenever that is. But if it ends up being April, that means I'll have to just bring up a local approved body to come round and service it on the drive, rather than, well, it's their loss, isn't it?
It really is their loss, and we are finding that with some retailers. They're using the furlough system to stay closed, but actually allowing other people to get market share. And fair enough, as far as I'm concerned.
As I'm editing this, I do have an update actually. With regard that service, Swift Talk has disappeared, but they have replaced it with a COVID update, which says that they will extend the servicing by 7 months. So that will take me into the summer, so that's fine.
We think we won't be going anywhere till Easter. Easter falls in...
Well, it's actually in 2 halves, isn't it? So you got the end of March up until the 2nd. I think that's a Good Friday, and then the Monday the week afterwards.
Yeah.
Now we've only got a week booked anyway, but it does cover the weekends in Easter, and that will be at the Deviser site.
Yeah.
And I have had an email from the Caravan and Camping Club this time to say from them they actually intend to run their entire network from the 1st of April.
Yeah. But downside for me is I'll have my 2nd birthday in lockdown.
Yes. I've only had one.
That's a bit shockingly shite, really, isn't it?
Yeah. We like cinemas.
We do like to. I like to do simple stuff, not parties or anything like that. I like to do nice pub meal, go to the cinema, have tons of sweets, and come home. That's what I like to do for my birthday.
Well, the cinema, we might be streaming in the house, and then
home
you can have
cinema, home cinema, which we've only had that for the last year. But anyway, Easter, we hope we'll be able to go away to Devizes and choosing somewhere local. Also,
well, I think we've had to do that, haven't we? Because we don't know all about the lockdown, the tiers. If they come back again, maybe you're only allowed to travel in your local tier, and which Devizes is in our local tier. So maybe that's
it's only 30 minutes from where we live, so we're just. Really, it's just an insurance policy that we'll get away somewhere.
Or summer.
It's a gorgeous site, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
It's a lovely site. It's just below the canal in Devizes and near the very famous, world famous actually, locks, isn't it? Devizes, the Cane Hill locks.
I did video on that recently, so I'll post a link up here.
Now, normally after Easter we'll go away again, sometimes for Maybank holidays, and also half term in June. But
might do that. Not booked anything yet.
No. And also it's quite hard to book. You know, if you are prepared, like we're trying to prepare to go away like we have, you've got to understand that almost everything's booked up. I think people are hovering on their computer ready to book the minute something's open. They're just getting in there, aren't they?
Could be.
In there. And also what you're also getting is people who've been furloughed or working are booking holidays for these times we want to go away. So it can be quite hard to get the time off.
And also with the Caravan and Motorhome Club, we still got vouchers for that we didn't use last year because whatever got cancelled. So yeah, so we're going to hopefully use them again, but hey, we never know.
But we are planning for our summer holiday, aren't we?
Yes. Now interesting this time, because what we've done is we booked to go to France as normal. Well, not as normal. I mean, as you may have seen at Christmas, we actually voted that Germany was the best place, but we're going back to France.
I think that's so because we're looking for beaches, blue sky, nice shopping area, etc. And it's probably just going to be us, isn't it?
Might well be, yes.
Not even Jess.
So we have booked a European holiday to France. And we're going a little bit further down, still in, well, not Brittany, it's right very, maybe it's south of Brittany, but we can drive up to that place that you know the name of really well.
Concon.
Yeah.
Concon. I don't
know. We want to go back and have a look at that place.
Yeah, we want to go back there again, don't we? We like a place also that we want to go called Pornic.
Now, what we are doing is we're doing something different in terms of getting there this time. We went by ferry from Dover over to Calais, but then we had to come back via Roscoff. So we're not doing that this time. We're actually going by train. So again, we'll do all the video links for that lot, and you'll see all that when it happens, if it happens.
We have done the train before, though.
Yes.
So we know what's involved, don't we? It's bloody hot. It's hot in there. Stuffy.
Well, it was, because the aircon wasn't working, because we had to wait nearly 5 hours before we could actually leap onto a train.
Yeah, don't assume that going by train, which is a lot more expensive, is going to be quicker, because we were caught. We queued for ages, didn't we? I mean, hours. Even though the actual train itself is, what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yeah, 35 minutes. So it is, the actual travel time's quicker, but you might have to wait equally as long. But I think that might have been because they have problems. But we don't know what the story's going to be when it comes to what the French side will do when we're there. I mean, I'm hearing odd things like you have to wear a mask everywhere now, which is fine, even outdoors. And also, I don't think their vaccinations are anywhere near as big as ours.
It's unknown, isn't it? We don't know if we're going to have to prove that we've been vaccinated. It's very unlikely that you and I will even be vaccinated while we're before July. Well, we might be. Who knows whether we'll have to prove that. We'll probably have to have COVID tests.
Oh, you'll be in that age bracket, the right age bracket, haven't you, brother?
Yeah, but you got there first. Let's never forget that. And so we've booked so that we've got something happening, but we have no idea what that's going to look like. Obviously, we'll have to queue in a different place, won't we, when we go in the Eurotunnel?
Yep.
Because we'll be non-EU.
So this is the other thing. Brexit has now happened. So we have... We'll pick one of these topics at a time. So
passports, then.
You have to make sure that you have got at least 6 months on your passport for coming back.
And have we?
We have. We're all covered on that front.
Okay, do we need visas?
Visas you don't need for France. So no, we don't need visas.
And what about pets, even though we're not taking our pet? Come on.
You need an animal health certificate at this stage. This is all they know so far. But no doubt there'll be vaccinations. Basically have a chat with your vet. But you certainly will need at least one of those.
Yeah, so you better do that well in advance, because you don't want to a week before think, oh, I'm going to take the dog, or what? Well, you wouldn't take the cat, would you? I'm going to take the dog.
Some people do. Cats, ferrets, you know, yeah. God knows.
You can take your dog, and then week before find out you've got to have 3 jabs, and also it'll cost. Because you know, vets don't do stuff for free. It's going to cost you, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about the passport though? That exists already, doesn't it?
No, the pet passport will disappear, and they're going to replace it with this animal health certificate. But there's also a series of jabs you have to have at the right time, and you have to have one back to come back to the UK. So you have to have it like 2 days before you're travelling. But
that means you've got to find a French vet.
That's right, but you have to do that now. That's what you have to do now with the current rules.
Do you know why there's a really easy solution to that?
What's that?
Don't take your pet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right then, EHIC.
EHIC cards. Now, if you have an EHIC card, which we have, they'll still be maintained until the point when they expire. But you can't get any new ones.
I think it's going to become a new card, GHIC, is it? Or something else? A new
Until
one's
they come
coming.
up with something brand new, yeah.
Okay.
So, again.
So, Steve, you are, of course, wherever we go away, the worst backseat driver in the world. So, actually, you're the main driver and I'm the navigator. Yes, he is. So, you're the driver, I'm the navigator. What licence do we need?
This is interesting. So, if you have... You probably all heard of something called an IDP. an international driving permit.
No, never mind.
It's a licence for different countries.
Yeah.
So an IDP is required in certain parts of the world where you're intending to drive. Luckily for us, you don't need one in France. But you do in some EU countries, so like Switzerland and places like that. So it'd be worth checking the government website for IDPs. But there's more.
Oh, okay.
If you have a driving licence with a photo card, that's when you don't need one. But if you've got one of the older licences, like the paper ones and things like that, you will need an IDP. And there's more than one of them. I thought, oh, just get a driving permit. No, there isn't. There are at least 3 of them, and they are dependent on the country that you go to as to which one you have to have. So if, like us last year, we drove from Germany through Belgium onto France, I haven't checked this, but it might mean you need 3 different IDPs.
So even if you're driving through a country and not stopping, particularly...
If you get pulled over.
If you get pulled over, you have to have the right paperwork. So plan. You need a planner. Yep.
Now, you think that's the easy part, but it's not. So, insurance. So they're going to pull you over, they're going to check your driving licence, here's my IDP, and they'll look at your car and go, what insurance have you got? Well, that means you have to get a green card. You probably heard of these too. So this is from your insurance company, and I had to get one of those, so I've already pre-told them where I'm going, what dates I'm going, what I'm towing, and what my car registration blah 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 is. And then they have sent me, actually they've just sent it to me, the actual green card. And would you believe it's not actually green?
I was going to ask that. Is it a green card?
No, it's not.
What's it? Just a piece of paper or something?
It's 4 pages of a PDF. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Right. And that's, you know, if I get pulled over, and that covers all the countries where I'm going to. In this case, it's just one for me. So I've got it, and there's a bit in French. It's in 2 parts because it's in English at the top, and then French for the rest. So whoever pulls you over, the gendarme,
Yeah.
they can read it.
Okay.
See that I'm
Yeah.
covered.
Okay. So what about as we will have grown-up children at home and we'll need to phone them? What's the situation with mobile phones and roaming and all that jazz?
Okay. They haven't said that they're going to do anything, as in all these mobile operators, but they haven't guaranteed that they're not either. So as it currently stands, roaming still happens as it does today. So you can go to Germany, France or whatever in your mobiles.
Okay.
Still work at no additional cost.
No, unless you're on a ferry, of course, when it costs a shed load more.
Correct, yes.
So yeah, got that. Okay.
Hang
So
on,
that's
I must
mobile
say it.
phones. And what about...
Do you remember on the ferry we had to fill in that... Can't remember
form.
that form.
Yeah.
Whatever it is for passengers for going out the... You still have to fill one of those in. So this is the form you can pre-download if you like, and fill it all in if you like, which we will do, rather than try and fill it in somewhere.
En route.
Because I don't even know what the wireless will be like
You only
in the
have
ferry, on the train on the way back.
Yeah, and we've only got 35 minutes.
Yeah.
It took us 3 hours to fill it out before.
Yeah, but that's probably because half of it was trying to connect.
Yeah. And what about things like the border coming back? We don't know, do we?
Well, we know some of it. It's, when you're driving up to like Dover and places, or actually Calais, you've got this great big expanse where loads of cars go for the EU and a very small little lane for non-EU traffic. Well, guess where we'll be this time? So I'm hoping they're quite clever and they say the big bit is for non-EU, because that's what we will be. So you've got that. Now the problem with that is normally we would just give it half an hour beforehand and just whiz through, but if it's a massive queue, and you did have a ferry to try and catch, luckily we haven't, but I bet the train will be the same. There will be a big queue.
They'll have to make more queues, because France, we found that out when we went last year, France really relies on the British pound to help with their economy, their tourist economy.
I know you say that, however, do you not remember the news when you had all these trucks sat at Dover trying to get back for Christmas?
Yeah, but that's we're not going to Dover this year,
The
are
French are better at it than we are.
we?
Okay.
I don't know. whether they're better.
Something else that needs considering anyway. You might need to give yourself a little bit more leeway than you would normally.
And I can assure you the French are no worse than us. What about duty free?
Oh, now that's an interesting subject, duty free. Because now we're not in this you can take whatever you like back. You are restricted by whatever the rules are. Now, we don't smoke and bring alcohol and stuff back with us anyway, but there is an amount now. You can't just fill the caravan up with it and bring you come.
Yeah. I reckon we bought 2 bottles of that sweet cider. That was probably about it. That'd be all right.
That would be underneath anyway, whatever the limits are.
Yeah.
But you do need to check what they are and don't exceed them, because you're now subject to them rules.
Okay, and finally?
You need a GB sticker for the back of your car, or caravan in this case, or both. And you can't even get away with the registration plate that's got a GB on it. You need to have a sticker as well. So I think I've got a couple. I'm going to have to dig them out and stick them on. So now the fun begins. So we got it's what, last week of January as we speak for uploading this. So we got February and March, which is about 5 weeks of usable time for us. So a job a week. So we got the cleaning to do inside and out, and then polishing the stuff and the windows and the fridge and hoovering. And by the time I've done all that,
Steve's not talking about the house, unfortunately. He's just talking about the caravan. Yeah.
This is my baby.
Yeah, no, you can happily get on with it. But if you think I'm doing that in the house, you can whistle.
No, well, we got the furniture back. I've got all the bedding and stuff to bring in as well now, so we're in a position. But I'll do that as it gets warmer. You never know. We've actually got a threat of snow this weekend. Would you believe? But anyway, it's nice and warm. We'll just leave the heating on as we have done, and yeah, we're good to go.
Get ready for our first holiday. Wouldn't it be funny though if in 2021 we get away less than we did in 2020?
Well, yeah. Now, next week, I'm going to be looking at Wi-Fi in the caravan, because we've had no end of fun and games with that, but we think we're there now, so we're going to bestow what we've learnt.